Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good morning. Glad you're all here. As the famous lines of Your Wish is Your Command by Kevin Trudeau. This is day number 331, and my name is Jordan Obeas, and I'm the founder of dayNumber. I've been documenting my journey here on YouTube for the last 331 days. Originally it was called the Billions Club and transitioned it to dayNumber. And really what I talk about every day is I go live every day. And what I talk about is what happened the day before on my journey of building dayNumber, which is a platform for early stage founders to basically document what happened each day and allow that to help them build trust, with people that they're basically serving or supporting or in contact with, right? So whether it's investors, other founders, future customers, right? So yeah, yesterday, most of the day I was dealing with some stuff personally, and then after that, I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna start messaging people because I gotta. That's the main thing I have to do, is just talk to people. So I made a decision, and once I made that decision, boom, I went from like not talking to anybody to like boom 18 like people I was talking to, like founders. Hey, Jason River Fuentes, welcome. So the thing you have to do as a founder, if you're a founder or anyone, is that when you have something that you want to go after, the main thing you have to do that's going to change everything is decide that it's going to happen. That's it, period. Right? And that's what dayNumber is about. It's committing to yourself the mission and the vision or the goal that you have, and knowing that you're not going to quit. If you're still counting how many days you've been building whatever it is that you're building, then that shows that you're committed, or else you'd be like, if it happens, it happens. It's like your word, and as that number grows and you keep track of it, it develops that strength of character, which is following through on a commitment long after the excitement of the moment of that commitment has passed. That's what strength of character is. It's easy to say, yeah, I'm gonna do it, that's a period, I'm gonna go to the gym, just like here, Good Life Fitness. All right, Good Life Fitness. You can buy a membership. You say, yeah, I'm going to commit. I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week or whatever, right? But it's another thing to keep going, right? Imagine you kept track of how many days you've been on that journey or path of the commitment that you made to yourself for whatever it is, right? So you have to decide that, okay, it's going to happen. That's it, period, right? When you decide it's going to happen, that's it, period. Whatever it is, whether it's building a company, whatever. If you're young, going to an Ivy League college, making it to some sort of national sports league, whatever accomplishment that you want to accomplish, commit to it fully and just say, but first you have to define what it is that you want. Okay? When you define what it is that you want, then you can make a decision, because before, if you're on, let's say Google Maps and you're trying to go somewhere, you have to find out, what's the address in order for Google Maps to actually work and start directing you and guiding you. I got my Kangen water here. This is the best water, by the way. I know it just looks like regular water, but it's actually electrolyzed reduced water. Just search up Dr. Michael Kangen water, okay? But yeah, so you have to define what it is that you want, and it has, and create. Here's what you could do, and what's helped me. And again, going back to Kevin Trudeau is, do this exercise, okay? Get a blank sheet of white paper, blue pen, And at the top, right, if money or time were no object and I knew I couldn't fail, this is what I would want. Okay, and then boom, you just start listing all the things. And you keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going until you stop, until you run out of things, right? Run out of, it could be what you want to be. What would you be, do, or have if money or time were no object and you knew you couldn't fail, right? Some people say, oh, I want to be a singer, or I want to play guitar, I want to learn piano, I want to learn a language, I want to travel, I want to, go to the Bahamas for a week, or, buy a house on the cottage, or I want to buy a house for my parents, or, I want to retire my parents, or I want to retire my wife. I want to, be able to travel. I want to have I want to finally build that business that I've wanted to create. I'd go all in on doing that, create this thing, right? Whatever that is, list those things out. And when you do this exercise, okay, the one to focus on now, okay, this is how you help you define it, is start numbering on in a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest belief that you know that you could absolutely get this. Within the next 3 to 12, 18 months, those things that you truly believe that can actually happen, and you start marking them. And so some of them will be a 1. You'll definitely have some 1. Conan Duang says, need to shave them whiskers, boy. I'm used to them, man. Definitely used to them. Maybe one day, I'll go all bald. Be like a true monk. You never know. Actually, I was just reading Steve Jobs' biography by Walter Isaacson, the one that came out like years ago. And when he was in India, there was a guy that, I think it was in India, there was a guy that pulled him really close and really liked Steve's vibe and everything, and then shaved his head. It was crazy. I can't even picture that, But now, I mean, if you look at the later days of Steve Jobs, how he looked when he was fighting cancer, you can see his hair was very short too. But he was also very spiritual, Eastern philosophical, Zen, Hinduism, that kind of Eastern spirituality type of person. And anyways, he had a vision and dream. He made a decision, right, when he actually started Apple to actually, create a company out of it, right? He made that decision, right? So you have to define what are those things on that list that I said earlier that you think you can, that are like an 8 out of 10, okay? Those are the ones to focus on. Pick one thing. And when you commit to that, that'll lead to everything else, all right? So that's how to help yourself define your dream and decide, make that decision. Okay, this is where I want to go. This is what I want, right? Gamer Cheat says hi. Hey, what's up? Welcome. Yeah, it's a beautiful sunny day today. Check it out. Whew. Yeah, so yeah, where's everybody tuning in from today? Welcome. If it's your first time tuning in, my name is Jordan Leveas. I'm the founder of dayNumber.io. I've been documenting my journey here on YouTube for the last 331 days, and on dayNumber for the last, I think, almost 160 days. It's the platform that I built. So if you guys are a founder though, watching this, would love to help support you, because I'm in the process of raising a fund with the Decile group, and we're gonna be writing first checks to early stage founders, who are mission driven and relentless mission driven founders, and that's my mission. That's my thing here right now. What I'm doing is I'm building really a platform and a network and a fund to support early stage mission driven founders who are really committed to the problem that they're solving, right? So going with this whole thing about deciding, if you commit yourself that, okay, I'm gonna solve this problem that I'm obsessed about, right, solving, you make that decision, and then it doesn't matter how you solve it, because 331 days ago, I had no idea what I was gonna be, how it was all gonna come together, and I'm still in the process of that, and there's always an unfolding. You don't know how things are going to come together. Even reading these autobiographies. I'm on my 3rd one over the last 3 months. I started with Michael Dell, then Bill Gates, Source Code, and then now Steve Jobs. It's they never predicted how like their careers or their life was gonna unfold, right? I mean, Steve didn't even know he was gonna start Apple until like Steve Wozniak was like, putting something together, and then he thought he was gonna just give it away. He wanted HP to have it, right? The Apple One or something, but they didn't even want it, So I had to take it on as a project, and Steve Wozniak would never really wanted to start a company, which is crazy. So if it wasn't for the two of them combined, the Apple wouldn't be where it is. I'm holding an Apple iPhone right now, and it's amazing to see that certain things had to like connect, but you don't know how that's gonna happen, right? You don't know how it's gonna unfold. You just know that, okay, somehow, some way, I'm gonna create something that's gonna make a difference in this world, right? Look, if you impact 1 billion lives in a positive way, you'll be wealthy, 100%. Not just in money, but in relationships, in people. Imagine you had 1 billion people that you impacted in a positive way, okay? Don't you think that everything pretty much becomes free? It's like you deposited into 1 billion people's bank accounts, right? You have now access to 1 billion bank accounts to withdraw from, right? So what you put in is what you get out. And what I'm trying to say is that commit to doing something. Decide what it is that you're gonna do in your life that is actually gonna make a difference in this world. So yeah. Anyways, guys, what's the time right now? 8:47. Let's start walking. Whew. Yeah. Look at that sun. Alrighty. Alright, guys. Well, look, I'm gonna take off. I usually try to go for like 20 minutes at least. That's what I find is like a sweet spot in timing for like a short stream. But yeah, I usually do it by timing and gut feeling. But alright, guys, shout out to Gamer Cheat. I can't even see everything. Holy cow, it's so sunny. Coin Duong, Jason River Fuentes. Shout out to all you guys here that subscribed and liked. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Day number 331. I'm out.